Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Other Conservative Coin Collector, and today we're talking silver. Silver is almost at 50 bucks an ounce right now. It's at $47.96, or about $48 as of recording this Sunday, October 5th. Let's say you want to invest in silver. You want to start buying some. How do you do that? Today, I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts of buying silver. You need to know that there are several different types of silver to buy. You could buy coins that are 90% silver, which is what all these are. And if you do invest in buying coins, like for example in bulk, that are 90% silver, go through them and see if there's any coins that are worth more than just the silver content. All these coins are pretty much just worth silver content. If not, the silver content is worth more than the actual coin itself. And I have some coins that are just about on par with their silver content. In 1848 and in 1857, these are half dimes, and the history in these half dimes is actually kind of crazy. The history that this 1848 half dime has is this dime is older than 20 U.S. states. There were only 30 states in the Union in 1848. And fresh off of the election, Zachary Taylor was freshly president. Another cool fact, this coin was around for 39 years before the Eiffel Tower was built. Couple crazy facts, historical facts about that coin, but that's not why I'm talking to you. It's about buying silver. When it comes to silver, you have your 90% silver coins here, and you have war nickels that are about 35% silver, and half dollars that are about 40% silver. They were 90% silver, like this half dollar, until 1964, and then from 64 to 68, I think they were like 40% silver. So there's still silver content in them, but the year determines how much silver is in it. And but war nickels. Nickels were really never made of silver to start with, but during World War II, they were. You also have troy ounces of silver that can either be 99.95%, or like these, there are 99.99% silver. And one troy ounce of silver is worth about 50 bucks right now. If you were selling these at a break-even point, this is about $400. $350. The Morgan dollar is only 90%. There's also these square bars of silver you can get in 1 ounce. You could also get them in 5 ounces, 10 ounces, 20 ounces. I've seen 100 ounces. And I remember, it has to have been 7 or 8 years ago now, back when Matt from Demolition Ranch was doing videos, he shot a bar of silver. And he showed us like a 70-pound bar of it, which I didn't even know it was possible to make that much. But silver comes in the bars, in the rounds, and all different ounces. So how do you go about buying silver? One thing you should try to do is get the best price you can while buying. Yes, silver is expensive right now, but just because it's 50 bucks an ounce doesn't necessarily mean your local dealer is going to sell it that. Dealers like to sell silver for 20 or 40 times face value if it's coins, and for bars, well, there's no telling. Do your research, know your stuff before you go into the buying silver, because like with anything, there are the scams. One of the scams to try to avoid, I wouldn't 100% call it a scam, but it's those ads seen on TV when they're trying to get you to buy, like, Morgan dollars or 90% silver coins. That is pretty misleading because they're going to overcharge you and charge you a lot of money for one coin. You've probably seen them at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to go to sleep on the couch, and yeah, those are very misleading. Do not buy silver off of your television set or any coin off of your television set. That is one way you are going to be overcharged. And same with if you see a coin advertisement or like a silver advertisement, or it's supposed to come with the Morgan dollars. At the grocery store I work at, we have magazines at the registers, and sometimes I look through them. And there's an advertisement for like a Morgan dollar or any type of silver coin. Magazine coins are the same way. They're going to overcharge you, so do your research and don't buy them off of the Reader's Digest. Another thing to look for is don't charge too much. Don't pay too much for shipping. Shipping is it's tricky because let's say you find a bunch of silver for a good price, but you take a look at the shipment and it's like $150 in shipping. Don't pay too much for shipping. The same could go for any product, whether it's Amazon or eBay or Etsy. I've seen on Amazon where something's $15, but it's another $30 to ship it, and that is just not a smart thing to do. Luckily, with Amazon Prime, it's free shipping, but I'm not sponsored, so I'm not going to get into that. If you're buying online, be careful on what marketplaces you want to buy it from, because you just got to be able to look and touch and feel silver. And if you have a coin shop in your area, that is the best place to go and buy it, is your local coin shop with your reputable coin dealers, because you can actually look at it and touch it and feel it and ask them questions because they're the experts. And if you have more questions you just can't find the answers to, find your local coin dealer, find your local silver expert. They will tell you everything you need to know. Granted, they're not trying to rip you off, which, I mean, like with any shop, there can be the ones where, they're overcharging, but all the coin shops I've been to, they tend to be honest and don't want to overcharge you, and, they show you the books and they're honest. I'm not sure if you've been to a coin dealer or what your situation is or what your experiences are, but I find that most coin dealers can be pretty honest and trustworthy, but it's like with the mechanic. Some mechanics are honest, some of them say you need a new transmission when you just came in for an oil change. It varies, but find your local reputable silver expert and they will tell you what most of what you need to know. Also, when you buy your silver, don't be irresponsible with it. Store it in a safe location. Store it in a location where you know it's going to be, because if you lose your silver or it gets stolen, it's gone forever. And you just lost however much you paid for it. As soon as I'm done filming this video, my silver is going back in a safe and secure location where I know where it is. Yeah, you'll see my silver strewn out on my bed sometimes when I'm playing with it, but that's only for the videos. When I'm done, it gets stored and locked somewhere, where it should be. Because you want to be responsible with your silver, and you want to be responsible with everything in your house. There's a reason you lock your house when you go to work, so people don't just, open your unlocked door or go in and steal your television and stereo. You gotta be responsible with it. There's also insurance for your silver coins. But if you're only buying an ounce or two or a bar or two or whatever, it's not a good idea because it could be expensive. But let's say you have thousands and thousands and thousands of ounces that need to be protected. Insurance is a good way to at least not have a total loss if it gets stolen or damaged or bunch of or something like that. Because again, lost or stolen precious metals, if you can't find them, they're gone forever. Me personally, all the silver that I have, I didn't buy. I think I've only bought. I bought one silver grab bag a few years ago, and there wasn't really much of anything in there, and I decided not to do that again. But a majority of the silver that I have, I either one found or two was given to me because in my circles, I am the coin collector. I am the coin guy. People go to me for coin collecting and advice and for stuff like that. I've even had family members kind of get mad at me because I tell them their 1967 quarter is only worth 25 cents, although they've had it for 10 years and they think it's something special. That's gonna happen. I've also had people come up to me with like their really old coins that they think are old, and I've told them nothing more than face value. You got nothing there, and they're not necessarily angry. They're more playful angry that their coin is nothing. I went through my dad's old piggy bank a few years ago, and he was actually kind of disappointed when I said there was really nothing because he had a lot of 1965 quarters in his piggy bank from what he saved as a kid. And he did that because he probably thought that 1965 was the cutoff year for silver. No, it's 1964 is the cutoff year for silver. Unless you're buying half dollars, of course. If you're one of those people who wants to diversify their portfolio, silver is definitely a good way, and right now a cheap way to do it, because gold is going to cost you more than $50 an ounce. Platinum, palladium, they're going to cost more than $50 an ounce. And I don't know much about cryptocurrencies, but that's also a good way to diversify as well. Think about the people who bought 2 Bitcoin in 2009 and thought it wasn't going to be worth much, but they kept the passwords and they came to it 15 years later and now they're like multimillionaires. There are tons of people who've made it rich off of Bitcoin, and I'm sure silver and gold as well. But the cheapest way to diversify is definitely silver. Silver is $50 an ounce right now almost. Gold is over $3,800 an ounce. So you need quite a bit of silver to get up to what gold is at. And there's also a precious metal called californium that is millions and millions and millions of dollars per ounce. Of course, it's something you should never get your hands on because it's radioactive and could be unstable, but that's beside the point. Coins aren't the only way to get silver. There's also in jewelry and in old silverware. Well, silverware, it can be silver plated, but you can also buy silver plated silverware, which actually has silver in it, sterling silver actually. And you can also buy bullion as well. There's tons of ways you can buy silver, and there's tons of ways to invest. And my goal is to just get you started on the right track and to let you know to be careful out there because beginners can be bamboozled and scammed, and I don't want that to happen to you. Today's video is just on silver, but if you want to know how to invest in gold or platinum or any other precious metal, I could do a video on that as well. But I don't think that will be necessary because just take the same stuff I've said, but replace the metal and just continue the practice. This video probably covers it all. I just use silver as an example because it's the despite being almost 50 bucks an ounce, the cheapest metal to start with. I suppose you could start collecting aluminum and trying to melt it down and invest with aluminum, but yeah, aluminum and steel and bronze, maybe copper, but copper is also very cheap as well. You don't start getting into precious metals until you get to silver. So I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you off here with a make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that bell icon. Until next time, I'm signing off. So long, everybody.